Hello, it's Elaina Strongbow from SoTutorials.com, Elaina's main game name, and today I'm going to talk about release 57. This is the first video I've done of this type, and what I'm attempting to do and what I will be trying to do for the next couple releases, see how it goes, is to put out a video on specific releases as they come out. So this past Thursday, August, I guess would have been 30th, was released 57 day. Portalarium releases out Shroud of the Avatar on the last Thursday of every month. And usually the day before or the day after or on that day, I usually try to go through the release notes on stream, usually on Twitch, and talk about, what's coming in, just the highlights. I don't go through the gory details. There's enough people doing that. I try to hit the high points on that, just give something to talk about. But as of late, I seem to have more of opinions on this. As in, yeah, they're doing this and this is good, or yeah, they're doing this and I think this is bad and this is why. And you know what? The chance of Portalarium actually seeing that out there is very low. It's not like they'd be out there watching my stream. So I figured committing some of this actually onto YouTube videos would be better. And it'd go good with the Soda tutorial site as well. So this is the first one, and we're going to talk a little bit about R57. So nothing really in depth. I just want to talk about some of the things that I liked, and some of the things that I found out that I just don't like. And it may not be the mechanic itself, it may be the reasoning behind it. So there's some criticality to this. And to be honest, I think Portalarium needs as much criticism as they can get. It's a new product. It's a new game. It's been released here for a number of months here, but it's trying to find its way. And it's a balance between, oh, I got to get a lot of people to play it, or I got to satisfy the people who are there, who've been there all along and putting money into the game. And you know what? They need every bit of input and data they need to. So if they get to see this or see one of them, great. That's awesome. If they ignore it, do something else, well, that's their business. It's not my company to run. All I can do is play the game or not play the game, or put money up on the add-on store, or add money in for episode 2, or not do that. And I think that's what everybody here is able to do. But I just know that on this channel, it's my particular channel, and you all are welcome to come and look at this or not. It's not a bitch fest. It's if I have something to be critique about, I have a reason for the critique. And if someone wants to contact me, give me a counterpoint or drop that on there, I'm all ears. I'm not infallible, and I don't understand this. As I said, I'm not in this industry. I'm just on the playing end of it, and I've been in that for a while. So I've got some opinion in that. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to pop over to the release notes here. So this comes out usually a couple of days before. I know Star will typically put these out on the forums on Shroud of the Avatar, and then officially get out to the release site or on the main website. So first thing. One thing that's really cool about 57, there is a lot in R57. I mean, there's a lot of work that went in here, a lot of stuff. So there are things like, they talked about quality of life improvements. Basically, that's a very nice soft way of saying things that sucked from a player perspective. And it just sucked because we had to go do stuff. And it sucked and it was ridiculous. And they said, you know what, that just doesn't make any sense. You're just annoying the player for no reason. So they've made some changes on that. So the quality of life stuff is actually very visible from a player standpoint. We see that if they come back and they make something, a change on a mechanic, like a calculation mechanic on damage or stuff, we can kind of feel it, but we can't tangibly touch it. A lot of the quality of life stuff is very much, we can go in there, yeah, it's right there, that's just absolutely spot on. We can see that, and those are all good mostly, I think. I'll talk a couple of them. User interface polish. They want to make user interface more cleaner, and whatnot. I can tell you there's some stuff in there that actually looks really good, and I'll show that in kind of this. And there's some stuff that they've done that, in my opinion, is pretty bad. And I'm a very critical person as far as GUI layout and design. I have in part of my, when I went to get my major in computer science, I had a very heavy emphasis on the graphic arts side as well. And I'm very OCD. Some people say OCD about things. I am, but there are things I just see and go, no, that's just wrong. So we'll talk about that. Player made dungeon. This is a highlight that's on here. This is a very cool thing. We want to talk about that. We get to see that in the game, and then some other stuff. There's some bug fixing, decorating stuff. But let's talk about see if we can get down into the quality of life improvements. So one of the things that they've done is that they, from a quality of life, is they've made it easy for people to get around and through things, like the control points. There's all the gaps in the game, like the passes. There's East Reach gap between Town and Desolus. There's East Reach. Between Desolus and the Drockvald, there was Vauban Pass. Yes, I have these all in my mind. On the perennial coast down there, there's the pass, Brightbone Pass, which is the snowy scene one, and then there's a Troll Pass and all that. So there's all these passes you'd have to go through, and they're higher level. So when I first started, when I wanted to go from Sultan to Desolus, I'd have to go through it. I'd have to run, and sometimes I'd get killed. And then if definitely on Vauban Pass was always tough for me as a younger character, getting up to where Graf Gem Mines was, going through that. So they've made it now. The doors are open. It's kind of like a town. You can actually come up to it and walk, just continue straight through, or you can actually go into the area if you want. The problem is no one's going to go into the area. I mean, pretty much just marked as it's just kind of for generally for those places like Vauban and the East Reach Gap. They're just not going to be played in there. And I don't know if that's good or bad. Some people weren't playing, they were just running through it anyways. I think they're just acknowledging something's there. But what is the reason behind doing this? The reason behind is that there's a lot of things they're doing here to reduce the number of scene loads. Come out of my basement, it's a scene load. I go out of my house in town, it's a scene load. I go into a pass, it's a scene load. I go out of the pass into the next area, it's a scene load. The scene loads take time. So they're trying to cut down on the scene loads, and it takes down, it makes the experience a little bit better. That's a good thing. Bad thing is it's a covering or a compensation to the mechanic of scene loads. Was that the right decision? Was that a good decision? Do we like the fact that there's the overworld and you can zoom in and out? Now one of the main mechanics is acknowledged to be cumbersome, so they got to pull it out. So it does make it easy to get around. Theoretically, I can pretty much walk around the entire world. So that's good from that standpoint. But I just don't know if we've compensated for a system. For a symptom of a system. And I'm not sure if that's right or not. I don't have an answer on it, but it concerns me. It concerns me because they're compensating for a core part of this product. Town Siege is voluntary entry as well. Once again, it is about scene loading. So you come up to a town that's under siege, you'd go in, you'd have to run around through the siege and get in. Now you can, when you go into it and you enter, it says, do you want to go into the siege? Do you want to go directly into the town? Okay. I get the scene load thing, but it was sold that that putting the devotionals in the towns would, which are the good things, would attract the bad people, and that was a byproduct of you have these good things in your town, you have these bad things to deal with, and now you can just go around it. So there's no really negative effect for having good things in your town. It's not like bad stuff is happening. You can go right through it. I think that one bothers me more than the control points. I could kind of lean 50-50 on the control points, but on the town sieges, geez, that's the purpose of them. This town has good stuff and good devotional stuff, and the bad dudes have come to lay siege to it. And if you want to go to this town, you have to go through it or go out of this town. That's part of it. And they just kind of took away the disadvantage or the negative aspect of having the positive stuff in there. So that one bothers me more. It just does. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. And it's not because of, the scene loading. It's the purpose of why the towns were had siege laid to them. I don't know. It's like, it's almost like saying this town has a siege laid to it only on the front side. Because if you go around the back side, it's wide open. You're safe. And I don't get that. And I'm not sure I really like that at all. Once again, some people may say, yeah, that's good, that's fine by me. I just kind of, it's not the actual thing they've done, it's what they've, this is like an economy. Whenever you touch something, it has ripple effects. And a lot of it is about the story and the other mechanics in the game. And by doing this one, they're kind of going back on the reason why those things are there. I'm like, if that's really the case, then get rid of town sieges. Go stick a scene out there called Town Siege Central. Here's the forest one, here's the deserty one, or whatever else, and go play these you want. Because right now the only people who are going to go into are the ones that want to go in and get wood from the siege engineers or to get, you know, go kill Kabbalists or whatnot. So yeah, so I'm not too much about that. Another one they've done is NPC movement is slowed down. So when you're walking through and NPC would walk in front of you, you'd kind of slow down, going. And then, so what people were doing was jumping around, going into combat mode, which allows you to zoom right through them. So they got rid of the slowdown. So if you're not in combat mode, you won't slow down when going through an NPC. To me, that's actually a really good thing, because people are already getting around it. They're acknowledging something that just, we have a way to get around it. Why make people get around it? Just make that the thing. And that's what people are doing. So that one, I'm like, thumbs up. That's a really good one that's in there. Now, right below that, between side quest spoilers and an NPC movement, is one called Roving Encounters. Awareness reduction. Now, this one bothers me. So let's recite this. Control points kind of bother me. This bothered me. This doesn't bother me. This one bothers me again. So here's the thing about an MMO, or whatever you want to call this. I call it an MMO. And by the way, if you're hearing like thundering stuff, it actually is lightning and thunder here. So that's the noise that's going on in the background. You can actually hear that. So the storm's getting closer. So I will hopefully get this done before our power goes out or whatnot. So the roving encounters. Let me go back in any game. I'm in my house. It's called house home base safe. Once I leave my house, my risk of losing something, dying, getting attacked goes up by some factor. Depending on the area I go to, it can go up even higher. I'm running through a field. I don't know, maybe I'll run into a snake. If I'm running through a dungeon, I might run into skeletons and whatnot. So the fact that you have in this instanced game where you actually have, you have the overworld and then the pockets you go into. Once you come onto the overworld, you're totally safe. Nothing can happen to you. It's like foam bumpers in the bowling alley in your lane. You can't throw a gutter ball. It's safe. You're in PvP mode, can't get attacked, can't get robbed. It's this big home base. Now, and if you go from town to town, I'm literally going from the south part of the world to the north part of the world. I'm traveling the entire continent of Novi as it exists today. I can now get around everything. I don't have to go through the passes. I can go right through them. Now, if I see a skeleton or a burglar or a robber dude off here, or a stag, encounter, whatever else, I can now, they've tuned down the speed. I can just get right around them, and they can't really capture me. Once again, it's one of those things that, I think from a new player, especially more from a new player standpoint, it should grab them. It's something that should make it so traveling is a little dangerous. Traveling offers up a little bit, a surprise kind of thing to it. Some of those things, depending on your level, can be harder or not. When they first made the roving encounters, it used to be just kind of, you'd be going along, all of a sudden it's like, it'd suck you in and say, ooh, something caught your eye. And you'd be in an encounter. You couldn't actually even see the dudes. So then they go, oh, that's bothering people. Let's put the little people on the map. So I'm running down the map. I could see the guy a mile away. All right. And so, if we want to go around them or go into it. Now they made it, and they were fast. So if you go off land, you'd have to go pretty far. You could still get caught sometimes. But now they slowed them down. They nerfed the NPCs, and they can't catch you. Pretty much, they just can't. Unless you run up to them themselves. So they just kind of made it a little bit simpler. For some more, and I kind of go, why do you do that to the game? The game, if simple, is boring. You're making it boring by making it simple. If you're always safe, what's the who cares? So now some of them may say, I guess from one standpoint they say, we've analyzed the data and most people have come into it and run right out of it, which you have an option of doing. Sometimes when I get caught, I still kill some of them. I just do. But you know what? Sometimes, people just run right out. They looked at it and 80% of the people just run right out of it anyways. So we've decided to make this. Well, okay. So if no one's doing them, just remove them. Just get them out of the game. Just take them out. If they're pointless, call it pointless and remove them. I don't know. Between the roving encounters and the town sieges town sieges bother me more. That's more integral to the game. There's a plot, because there's a plot line to it. The roving ones is just more kind of gameplay, so I'm not too jazzed about that. Those are kind of some of the big quality of life pieces that were in here. So I kind of said, okay, that makes sense. And I said, some of it makes sense. I don't agree. I get what they're doing. I don't agree with some of it. And you kind of know where I just stand on that. There's, other stuff. You can go to the site and I'm not going to go to like side quest spoilers and scene polishes. They always go through the scene polishes, just add some stuff, make some things that make sense, change some of the conversations. That's all good. So any of the stuff is just kind of buttoning up things, which is good. Performance, they've got some stuff that hit on performance on there. They've always going through and doing bug fixes on different stuff, so that's good. No problem with that. You simply don't. They're fixing a bug. They're doing it. Performance are always a good thing on here. So you can see that there's a whole bunch of stuff they've been working on with here, including some of the new unicorn poison and stuff, which is good. We got scene fixes, so missing stuff. You get stuck spots. So they go through a lot of the stuff and they find stuff. If you use like the /stuck command, and you got a lot of people doing it in one certain area, they'll go investigate that, find out why it's getting stuck in that scene, and fix that. So you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff, places they do that. They got some more housing furnitures fixes. Housing fixtures, kind of like wall stuff, where you can put stuff. Can you put stuff, place a piece of furniture here versus where you should be able to, versus you can't. So yeah, normal stuff. That's good. A lot of stuff went in that. Crafting in the economy. I've been on a conversation on the forums about the double XP. Someone was talking about the double XP, and I'm telling you, there's two aspects of double XP that people are kind of going one side or the other. One was the fact that they kept having double XP weekends. Is it a good thing to have double XP weekends? The other thing is double XP itself. Is it good or versus not? I did not like double XP weekends. And at my point, they kind of banter. No one really had a clear answer. I thought I had a pretty good reason why I don't like it. I log in on the weekend. I get a message from someone. Hey, you want to join up? Sure. What are you doing? We're playing in upper tiers. So what they really are saying is we're grinding in upper tiers, because upper tiers is just over. You get so much XP in that place. We're going to go up there and stand around and kill things as a group. And it's really easy to do as a group. And we're going to do up there so we can hit our double XP and get all this XP. So here was double XP and a spot that I considered more, it gives out too much XP. So I call it over, it's not balanced. And double XP weekend, everybody was over there doing this. It is boring. It's grinding. This was the definition of grinding that the game is supposed to be trying to get away from. So I don't like double XP weekends. I just didn't. It forced everybody in. And I made a point that I liked in Ultima Online, there was a power hour. So after 24 hours, that first hour you logged in, you were able to get more experience doing stuff. So if I was trying to GM carpentry, I had more chance of getting gains during that hour than I would in the rest. Wasn't anything drastic, but it was noticeable. But that was, my power hour was when I first logged in. If that's at 8 o'clock at night and someone logs in at 10, it didn't corral everybody onto the weekend. We're all doing grindy things and no one's playing. So I didn't like double XP weekend. So in this release, they got rid of double XP weekend, and they said, well, what we're going to do is double XP is good, so we're just going to leave double XP on. So now double XP is now the new, just regular old XP. So if I was mining, and I mine in a tier 5 area, and I get 500, used to get 500 experience, now I get 1,000 experience. Same thing, skinning a bear. Skin a bear, I get 500. In Olfheim, I now get 1,000 for that. So they basically doubled the rate. They're going to get some noise from a lot of people like me and from other people who have played this game for a long time, and we had to work our way to get up to it at the 1 rate, because what they basically did was, in the counterpoint from our end is saying, wait, what you said is that we've been getting ripped off half XP for the whole time we've been playing. The whole time I've been mining for whatever number of years or months or times in the mine, you've been only giving me 500 per hit. Now you're saying, well, I should be giving 1,000. That's more right. So we're kind of going, yeah, you ripped us off for half the XP, since we've been early release. I'm not too behind that. I'm half talking, cheek and tongue there, but it's not. It is what people feel. It's people who've worked really hard. It's the feeling that they have. I kind of understand it, but I'm okay with it. But what I did mention was, well, if you up the amount of XP that a player can get, then they can gain faster. They can get to higher levels faster. That means you need to shift your mobs from the easiest to the hardest this way. You've got to add more difficulty to it because these people who are new can get to it faster. So if you think about, this is the lowest, this is the highest a player can be, and in the middle somewhere is kind of the average. If we make XP harder, we're shifting the average over here. So we have to shift the mob types. And you'll see in the notes it talked about they've added like 6 or 7 different types of bears, ferocious, deadly, yeah. So they're adding stuff in on the higher, and I think that's to compensate for it. I'm okay with the 2 XP. We'll get over not having that all along. But they have to continue to make sure that the mobs are equivalent, because these people can now, from a dead stop new character to a functioning character, instead of it being kind of, and this is kind of fictitious, kind of, instead of being kind of like this to get there, it now can go up at a higher, kind of at a higher rate. And that means they're going to need harder stuff to do sooner. So you got to start nerfing some of the easier stuff and making it more complicated. So just a note on that. That's and boss loose improvements. Yeah, anything. Because I tell you, I keep mentioning it. I go into a forest siege. I kill everything. I kill the Kabbalist dude, and I get 21 gold and a flat shovel. A, why is the guy carrying a flat shovel? B, I just killed a really hard guy and got 21 gold and a flat shovel. Just ridiculous. And it's been ridiculous like that for a year. So anything to do. And they said, well, it's not a huge one. We'll make more of an effort 58. You got to get to that because that's just killing us out there. You know, because, you know, to be honest, I go into the siege, skip the Kabbalist. I didn't get squat from them anyways. Why waste the arrows? So I just kill it, get the wood and stuff, and just get out of there. So yeah, you need to get this. So this was great. It's starting again, but you need to get off the duff and get that one done. It's really bad. And it's embarrassing. Yes, it's a cool game. Come play it. Yeah, we'll kill this boss guy. What'd you get? Squat. It's just, you can't show that off to a friend. It's embarrassing. It's like, yeah, it's a really cool game, but just don't mind the loot. You don't know what you get. You know, you get fish stew or something. So, anyways, that's on that one. Let's go down here. Side note, I do make critical things. This is nothing functional in the game, but really, Portalarium needs to pay attention to doing this. It just can't do this. Before, let's get rid of, no, ignore the blue ones. We've added blue roses into the game. Before you had pink, orange, yellow, and red, which is cool. You could grow pink, orange, yellow, red. You could use them for dyes. You could make a bouquet with all of them or one of them. It was cool. And then somewhere, oh, we did a blue one. So we got a blue rose. Great. There's a blue rose in that. And you didn't add the blue rose into this. You should. You just kind of, you classed out. Yeah, you're blue, but you're not really that important. If you're going to do this, do it right. If you're going to add the blue in, then change the one that's supposed to have all the roses in there. After a game, now, while the game was early access, a lot more leeway. The game is released. It's a functioning product. If you're going to put something in that's functioning in a released product, put it in complete, put it in correct. Put it right. That's not right. So put a blue rose in there, please. It seems so simple to do, and yeah, that kind of stuff just gnaws on me. So I got to get a blue. I do like the blue rose, though. So thumbs up for that. Thumbs down for not putting it in the combined vase. We need to get that. New recipes, a whole bunch of patterns on here. New stuff. I want to talk about the interface. I do want to talk about the interface. I'm going to switch over to the game and give you an idea what's on with the interface. So here it is. One of the things that they did is they said that the can I get an inventory? I'll do it in the friends list. Here's my friends list. They've made some changes in it, so a lot of it, you know, just kind of the look and feel of it, so you can see that. Here's one on the guild. We want to give it so you can see stuff about the person. So before, it used to be a marking whether you're an officer or a member, but now they slid it down underneath here. Why? Do you get that when you're going through this is actually hard to read for someone as opposed to single lines? I don't know why they would do that. It just seems wrong. Just seems like a really wrong GUI layout, how you want to say it, UI decision on this. I get that it's cleaner and looks better, but the double line, this is not a spreadsheet, it's a list. Don't do that. That looks horrible. It really does. Another one, I'm gonna have to go upstairs. I have to kill something. I need to get a loot inventory so you can see what the loot looks like. So we'll pop up here. There's usually a water elemental in front. So I get what they're doing. I like the coloring. It's a little bit sharper, easier to see and stuff. But I don't know whose idea was to put that double line. As that's, to me personally, that was way off. Way ridiculous. Did not like that at all. And yeah, so we need to, you need to do something about that, or at least make it an option so we can undo that, because that's pretty ugly. It just is. So yeah, let's get the water elemental. Is he out here? Where's my water elemental? Oh, there's always one here. I killed it. There's one over here then. We'll go kill this one. There's always a water elemental here in Blood Bay. Blood Bay. Here he is. He's right there. See him? So we're going to kill this guy. Alright, here we go. So he's dead. And look at those arrows flying, sitting there in the air. Yeah, they need to fix that too. So here's the loot window. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, this one doesn't have anything on here. So they've got a kind of like, instead of a list like our inventory list, they now have kind of a thing and it has it in here. The problem they've got is like gold doesn't have any weight. Can I double click that? Yeah, I can double click that. If you get something that has like weight, who has a, I'll talk while I go there. I know I've got someone else in this place I can kill. Let's go kill the, one of the, I think there's actually a sand element over here I can kill. Let's go hit him. There's usually one right over here by the stones. Oh, there's another water elemental, but he didn't have anything. Let's kill this guy. You shall die to my bow. Dun, 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 dun. Kill him. See how they leave the arrows in the air? That's just, yeah, they need to fix that. That's just wrong. Alright, so, he's just got gold too. Let's see. I'll go down. I gotta find someone. There's some bad dudes over here, pirates dudes or whatever you want to call them. So we'll get that. There's another elemental. While I'm running over there, so another thing they changed was the bank boxes. Now, if you had a bank in Alice had a bank in Central Brit, those were two different banks. You could see the bank contents of one or the other, but you'd see the name of where it was actually located. And never the two shall meet. You'd have to, if you want to get your stuff out of Central Brit, you'd have to go there. Or be in Central Brit in your house lot with a bank, a remote bank thing to actually get there. Alright, there's a dude. There's a couple of dudes here. I don't have my armor on, so I hope I don't get myself killed. That would be pretty funny. Oh, did I'm gonna get my... I'm gonna see if I can get my butt out here. Oh yeah, you rocked me there. Oh, I got a butt shot. No. Better drink a potion. All right, let's do this right. I gotta get my armor on. It'd be hey. All right, so this guy's alone. This is an invader. I don't have any of my heal stuff on. Probably the wrong deck. I'm not buffed. Trying everything to do to not die. Oh, I'm getting rocked by that guy too. No. No, don't root me. I'm trying to kill this guy over here. You have no content. Oh, there's my invader. Oh, get back here. You were here. I got you. I got you. I got you. He's gonna go down. He's got to stay away from the other guy. Oh, here comes the dude. Alright, he's gone. Good. Here it is. Oh, I'm gonna get attacked still. Can you see that we have the weight and the value on there? Oh, I'm gonna get rocked. No, go away, guys. So other items in there that have weight and value, they put in there, and they kind of say it's kind of like the friends list. Here is a item, and then below its weight and its value, and you get this staggered look on there. So the same way in the like your guild list, they've done it in the loot. I like the way the loot stuff looks now, but I really don't like the fact that they have this. They've added in more stuff to it. We know how much that stuff weighs. We'll see it in our inventory. just listed out kind of cool, and like, I just, I just don't, I don't know what the purpose of adding that in there. It just looks kind of clunky. Now, half the time we're looting, there'll be some people will pick out, okay, I'm going to take this and that, but I'm going to leave the wooden spoon of uselessness. I get that. Most of the time when I'm clearing out, I actually loot my characters as I kill them. Half the time I just sit there and hit, open up and hit E to take everything. I just take all and just figure out stuff later. So it's just kind of goofy. It's kind of weird. I just don't like the way they've added that extra line of additional information. It just doesn't read right in a game window. And in something they're trying to save space, they're taking up twice as much space. So I see half as much information in my guild list. So I don't know. I get what they're trying to do. I think they just got it wrong. It just was wrong. Oh, in-ground. I don't know about this either. You'd be able to purchase gaming, they'll be able to, you click on something, be able to purchase Grounds of the City in-game. Which really, right now, I said what it does, it just brings it out, opens up your web browser onto the page on the add-on store. Don't like it. Reeks of buy, spend more money. Feels cheap. Don't do that. If you get a mechanic in the game that can do that without taking the website, much better. Even this as an interim, don't. It just doesn't seem right. It feels cheap. It feels money grabby. It just does. And it does nothing. There's nothing. They could have just, if they didn't put this in at all, it would have never affected the outcome or the success or not of Release 57. They could have just skipped it. Even if they had the mechanic in and stubbed it out so it wasn't active. Anyways. So here's that whole thing about extra bears now. Ferocious Brown, Bear Patriarch, Ferocious Bear Patriarch, Ferocious Obsidian Destroyer. Higher stuff coming in, which is fine to compensate for the double XP. Our XP, our pet balances, our XP, our summon pets better got looks like they've gotten some extra XP, so maybe a little bit more useful, which is cool. I'm going to skip down. I know this is our puzzle. If you're a backer, puzzle box work. It's like playing Mastermind. You have to guess the 4 entries and you can get some interesting thing. This pipe organ is pretty cool. It looks big. Sounds very tiny though, but it looks pretty cool. I do actually have one in the basement. If you want to see what that. Oh, I'll go zone into the basement and continue on, then come back to it. So I do want to get to. There were the deeds. Raffle deeds went out. New POTs, updated stuff. Titan Forge, friend of mine, Titania, in game has exchange vendors in Novia Market, has opened up a new POT. Is another POT owner again, right to the west of Central Brit, up there on the mountains. It's called Titan Forge. Pretty cool. Go visit it. It's brand new. It's just checking out. So I was happy to see him in there. Player made dungeons. This is what I want to spend the last part of this on. I'm very excited about this tech, and I'm using their word tech feature. So the ability, like you have a basement attached to a property, you can have dungeons attached to your property. You can buy different kinds of dungeon types that can hold bigger sizes, and they call them points. 50 points up to 125 points inside. 50, 75, 100, 125. There are 4 dungeons that you can buy in the store that does that, and you can actually craft a 5th one, but it's kind of the same as the lower one, the 50 point. So if you want to have a bigger dungeon, more rooms, bigger rooms, you have to buy the upper 3 that are in there. But basically, like a basement, you kind of go into it. It's a new instance, and there's a dungeon. Right now, it is just player made. So they preview. So they have some static things associated with them. So if you have them, you put them down, you can play through it. They basically just give you kind of a highlight of what it is. I'll tell you what, I went into the easier one, or the second easier one, the 75.1, and I just kind of running around thinking it was going to be simple mobs and all that. Yeah, no, you got to be careful. Some of the dead people in there are pretty angry. I got rocked like 3 or 4 times. So watch out. It is a preview, but some of the mobs in there, including the one that I think on the biggest one, there's a lich room. There's like 3 liches in there. Kind of like the Rise kind of liches, like the sharpshooters and stuff. So be careful. But pretty cool. You can see what it looks like. The idea is that when in the end part of the year is that you can actually use these to actually create. You'll start with a basic room, and then you can be able to create and add, expand it out depending on the point size, your limit on there. Now to find things like a cool lich style room thing, you'd have to actually go out into the world, fight, and you may get the blueprints for one of those to put in your dungeon. It's really cool. Lots of buzz about this, talking to it. I thought this was really good. But you have a chance of making this. This is like, I called it the frozen pizza syndrome. Sounds good, looks good, looks good. The box looks tasty, tastes like cardboard. I hope they don't make it taste like cardboard. I'm cautiously optimistic on this. I liked when they said that once you design a dungeon, the more people play it, the more the dungeon can level up, I think it was. Get harder. Cool. Then I heard one thing Chris was talking, saying, yes, but the experience you can get in the dungeon, the player made dungeon, is nowhere near. It never will be the same as the full-on dungeon. Dude, if I go out there and bust my hump on a 125-point dungeon, get some really cool lich room looking stuff, people are loving it, running it out there, and it's tough, and it's hard, and that it's really out there, it should have a chance to give the Portalarium design ones a run for their money. You want that to happen. Not that it's a sync, an XP exploit. If they're really that tough, they should be able to get some XP out there. Now, if they're talking about if you go to the Rise, there's so much mobs and so much size. No, you won't be able to get as much if you cleared out the entire Rise because there's just so much stuff. But if I have something similar to the Lich Room, with the liches in here, and the same comparable, if I'm getting such amount of XP from this lich, I should get that amount of XP from that lich. I'm hoping that's it. I just kind of mistook that wrong. But the cool dungeons look cool. They look cool. Now, if you want to see them all, there's people are putting them everywhere. I'll give a shout out to Liz. Her name is Elaina in game. She is the POT owner for Isla de Muerta, Isle of the Dead. If you go, I know just how to get there where I saw it yesterday. If you go into Brittany Estates on the north entrance, there's a balloon right to your right. Will take you right to her POT. You go in there, she's got all 5 actually in her POT. So drop by and see it. It's not a heavily trafficked POT. It's it's a nested one, but she does have all 5. It's actually really cool, designed very well. So it's worth going out there to see that. But so far, the response was good. Even the people on my Twitch stream last night were kind of going, yeah, it's pretty good. I think they're just getting a kick out of watching me get my butt whipped. Anyways, this is the new organ, the ornate one. So it does actually fit in a basement. I'm in a 5-story basement in a row house. Oh wait. All right, let's see if we can get some music on this. This is UO Stones. Let's see if I can get the. Oops, no, that's not it. So, I guess I'm waiting for the one that has the really, kind of the bassy organ. But it's pretty cool. I tell you what, it looks really cool. It's a great wall piece. It looks good. I think, and I got it on sale this weekend for, I think it was $12. And that was worth it. I thought that was a pretty worth kind of thing. So, I like it. So, yeah. So, here's the thing. So, let me wrap this up regarding R57. Overall, here's the positives. A lot of changes, quality of life stuff. I get where they're going with it. A lot of stuff to focus on there. So they did a lot of work into this. That extra effort to get into player dungeons, I thought was great. Good for them to see it. People are going to run through and see it. I don't know how long they're going to play them for. They're probably playing for a week or so. You kind of get through it and say, okay, well, I'm done with that. And you really want to see the on one, but we get it. Maybe in the next release there's some expansion on the what's in there, the demo ones. It gives us something to look at while they buy some time as they finish it up. So yeah, those are all good aspects. I love the fact they got our puzzle box, whatever number of years later, we can do that. So that's good. It's just a lot of good stuff that were added into here. So that's very, very good. I said on the downside, I'm not too happy on some of the quality of life because I think it goes against what part of the game was designed to be. I definitely don't like the town sieges, the voluntary entry. I think that's just wrong, and I'm not too happy about the roving encounters. Fix the blue rose. Where was that? Yeah, the blue rose. Give it in the bundle there. Fix that, please. Yeah, but there's always some knocks on that. But I more care about the ones that go to the kind of the functionality, the root part of the game. And don't forget, there's also decoration dye. So there are some things on there we can dye under, which is really cool. And they added in some mega packs of the sparkly, the pulsing, and the glowing dyes, and a mega pack of all of those. So you get like 6 of each one. So if you want to go there and go completely crazy with your dyeing on your furniture, you can do that too. So that's it. So this is it, my first kind of release level review of the game. Just talking about release 57. We'll look forward to one in release 58 here at the end of September. And then we'll see, well, I can tell by the viewership how, how it is and some of the response in the comments on it. We'll see how that goes. And if it's something they're taking to, then good. If not, then we'll kind of change it up or do away with it. That's the beauty of being able to do this on your own and doing it with YouTube. So, once again, this is Elaina Strongbow from SoTutorials.com. If you're liking what you see here, give a thumbs up on the video. If not, you can put a thumbs down. But if you do, please let me know. I want to know so I can make that better. At the end, video's going to pop up. It's going to be the previous one in this series. Besides that, it's going to be a picture of me and the fairy wings. If you like what you're seeing on this channel overall, please subscribe to it. Let me know that, and know I can still be putting content out there. That's it. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.